This video is made right before the video I uploaded about leaving Alvarado Parkway Institute. I got invited to go back because one of the desk clerks was making rounds to see if the people that left API wanted to come back. And he stopped at my door a couple weeks ago, I think it felt like a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Carol, would you like to come back?" And initially I said yes, because I did honestly miss them. But then I thought about it after a while. And it was because I realized they were going to do the same thing they did to me last time I got invited back last year. You see, I got wrongfully discharged from API. It's kind of a long story. I got wrongfully discharged from API because I wanted to transfer to another branch. I wanted to transfer out of the San Diego branch and maybe go to the La Mesa branch or the El Cajon branch. And my counselor at the time did not trust me. He thought that if he did that, I wasn't going to attend. I was going to have a bad attendance. And in reality, in truth, I was having trouble attending because I was feeling so alienated at the San Diego branch. Now, the story is I had a crush on a woman at that branch. And although I did respect that they didn't have relationships there, although I did respect their boundaries, they were mistreating me. I had reason to believe they were mistreating me because I was LGBTQ. They were messing around with my lunch. They were messing around with my transportation. And even though I provided my own lunch and my own transportation, at the time they didn't provide me lunch or transportation, they were abusive to me and said that I did not wait for the van. They said that I did not wait for lunch, when in reality they were leaving me hanging with lunch. They wouldn't tell me when lunch was served, and they wouldn't tell me when the van was pulling up. And their excuse was they had trouble getting a hold of me on the telephone. When in reality, I was waiting by the phone to get a ride from them. I was waiting to see when I was going to get my lunch when I got there, regardless how I got there, transportation. So they were basically gaslighting me. They were blame shifting me. They were darvoing me, and they were basically treating me like I was a bad person because I'm gay, because I'm LGBTQ. I'm bisexual, but I'm in the LGBTQ category in society. And when they found out a couple years ago, when I was going in 2023, when they found out that I had a crush on one of the other clients there, one of the other women there, they made it with their body language and their attitude and their tone of voice and their behavior. They did not like me because I was LGBTQ. They thought I was going to go after this woman, and I did not go after her. I really wanted to just get to know her and be her friend. And whatever happened afterward was going to be strictly between me and her. It was not going to be anything they controlled. And by the way, I did see a straight couple there. There was a non-gay couple there. They had their arms around each other sometimes. I even saw them steal a kiss or two, and I did not tattle on them. I thought it was cute. I was happy for them. And they didn't seem to object to a heterosexual relationship there. In fact, they gave couples counseling there too. So, but no, when I had to deal with my gay crush, they gave me this, side eye. They gave me this, oh, you'll get over it. They didn't give me any emotional support whatsoever when I was being confused and maybe rejected, when I was trying to work through letting go of the idea of having a romantic thing with her. They didn't give me any support except, oh, you'll get over it. They didn't give me any counseling at all. But I'm sure they would have given if it hadn't worked out with the straight couple, I'm sure they would have been there for them. I remember I had a crush on a male staff member the first time I went there, and they were supportive. In fact, they even said, "Do you want to talk to this person and tell them how you feel and all that?" And they were there for me there, but they did not. I asked for the same thing. I said, "Can I talk to this woman with her permission? Can we arrange like a meeting?" And they said no. So they basically treated me like crap. They basically gave me heteronormative. Look that up. Heteronormative means they only deal with you if you're heterosexual. They only validate heterosexual relationships, heterosexual situations. And I was really surprised. I thought these mental health facilities were supposed to not discriminate. They told me that they didn't discriminate too. They said there are policies that are supposed to protect me, and I said to them point blank, if there are policies protecting me, how come you're not using them? How come you're not applying them here? And by the way, with the ornaments, the decorations they had in the hallway, they celebrated Black History Month in February. They celebrated Women's History in March. They did not celebrate LGBTQ Pride in June, and that really bothered me. In fact, I might have even asked them about that. And they gave me this nose thumbing, attitude, like, oh, we don't do that. We don't want to encourage relationships in the program. And I thought, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I don't think I can support your clinic. And eventually, when I was ready, I left in January of 2025. I had gone in October 2023. I finally could not stand it any longer, and I left. I tried to go back last summer, and they said we'll call you. And they didn't call me till a week later. I remember the first time I went in, they did not take a whole goddamn week to call me. They called within a couple of days, maybe a day or two. They called, but so I don't know why they wanna leave me to marinate for a week for being readmitted, especially since I was a retread. So they did this to me a couple weeks ago. They had one of the clerks come over to my house. In fact, it was the man I used to have a crush on. I don't anymore, but I did. He came over to my house, and he said, do you want to come back, Carol? And I thought maybe because it was he that came over and made the visit, made the well care visit, the well check visit. I thought maybe I could, he might have some influence on them. Well, he said they'll call you within a day, and we'll get you back in by the end of the week. That he came over on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I don't remember exactly, but he came like in the beginning of the week, and he took leave of me and said, "Well, we'll see you when you come back." Well, they didn't call. They didn't call the next day. And I made the video before this one. I made the video the next day. I said, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. This is bullshit. I'm saying no. And they called me a week later. I didn't answer the phone. They called me again 2 days ago. I didn't answer the phone. I hit decline every time. And now my therapist, my new mental health provider, I've been seeing her for a year. She's chronically late for her appointments. It reminds me very much of the way my former boyfriends emotionally neglected me by being late for our dates after we were intimate. You kind of get the pattern. It's disrespectful treatment. Okay. Safe week.